There is no denying that Conor McGregor is the biggest star the UFC, MMA, and possibly all of professional sports has ever seen. It seemed that in 2015, Conor McGregor could become the greatest fighter the world had ever known, and after he knocked out Jose Aldo in 13 seconds, and then less than 1 year later, KO Eddie Alvarez to become double champ, Conor McGregor was on top of the combat sports world. Fast forward to 2024, and Conor McGregor hasn't fought in nearly 3 years. Hasn't won a fight in over 4 years. It's safe to say he isn't revered in the same way he once was, having some obvious decline in skill and motivation, as well as picking up some questionable habits and calling out anyone who is even remotely famous and having no intent of backing it up. Does Conor McGregor still have the same positive impact on MMA that he did 8 years ago? Conor McGregor hasn't been his usual self in a while. He hasn't fought in nearly 3 years, and now paired with the fact that he is allegedly popping more steroids than the Liver King, we no longer have the legendary featherweight or lightweight Conor McGregor, all stemming from the fact that his image has changed. Conor used to be the epitome of hard work and dedication, speaking life into the words, hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. Almost every clip you would see of young McGregor, he would be at the gym training or out working, talking about training. Now on his Instagram, all you see is him in the club posting photos of ring girls whilst his fiancée watches in horror. Or it's Conor absolutely violating you whilst using his treadmill on a yacht in a Speedo that is way too tight for him to be wearing. While most people find these things a bit odd, they're mainly superficial and not the reason that Conor is negatively affecting MMA. It's mainly due to his inactivity inside the octagon. It's not a good look when the sport's biggest star isn't fighting. Now, obviously this is not entirely Conor's fault since he suffered a horrific injury rendering him unable to fight. But the fact that he keeps calling people out to fight and then, well, not, is what makes him look like the guy at a party that says he could beat up everyone at the party, and then when someone wants to fight him, he doesn't want to. From calling out KSI, Alexander Volkanovski, Roman Reigns, and the legendary Paul Heyman, the list goes on. The important part about this is that he hasn't fought any of these people he called out, making him look like a fool since he does all the talking and fights no one. However, there's one person he has managed to absolutely bamboozle in the lightweight division, Michael Chandler. Now, Michael Chandler has done an entire season of The Ultimate Fighter and has seemingly convinced himself that he is fighting Conor McGregor, but I think that everyone but him knows that this isn't going to happen. When Conor McGregor was in his prime, his trash talk was calculated, witty, cold, and most importantly, entertaining. His trash talk would turn from being just normal banter to at times full-on psychological warfare. Take his fight against Jose Aldo, for example. His trash talk involved learning his opponent's native language so that he could taunt him. Snatching his belt in front of thousands and waving it in his face, he maintained a cold and calm demeanor, making this all the more exciting and entertaining. Let's compare this to the McGregor we saw against Khabib. He was half drunk during the press conferences and was taking cheap shots about Khabib's family and religion. He did not maintain any form of composure, but he did do his research, which you have to give him credit for. And now he just rants and calls people out on X all day and has no intention of backing it up. Conor McGregor definitely doesn't have the same positive impact on MMA he did 8 years ago, and has fallen far from what he once was in terms of UFC. But if he was to fight tomorrow, I still think millions of fans would watch that, including myself. I mean, it's Conor McGregor, and through all he's done, I think that he still does somewhat positively impact the sport as an ambassador and a walking advertisement. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure to tune in next time.